So we're doing this video or what?
What up, bro? I'm looking up Lake Destiny.
Lake Destiny? What the hell is that?
Yeah, dude, Lake Destiny, Idaho. Fishing, the perfect cast.
Oh, snap!
Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Aaron coming to you live from Studio 146. Once again, coming to you with my boy right here, my brother,
Mr. J.
Hayo, Mr. J. And we are in our top 5 of the last, we're in the end game of our top 10 series, guys. So thank you guys for joining us so much throughout all these movies that we've been listing. And this is our number 4 pick. And if my t-shirt is any clues as to what this movie is today, man, this is one of my most personal favorite of mine. And we are talking about none other than a Goofy movie today, man. Love that movie, man. For all those 90s babies out there, y'all know this is our movie right here, man. And up until now, you still see the fandom going strong. I mean, look, I got, you got the merchandise of Powerline everywhere now and stuff. So this is a great, great movie, but it's very, very underrated.
Oh, yeah,
and
big time.
One thing that I could say right now is I think the reason why it's so underrated is because it's goofy. It's goofy. Like, out of all the characters
to make a movie
out of, like all of these classic characters, you choose Goofy. Yeah. Like, I think that's probably the reason why a lot of people, right away kind of like dismissed it because it's like, it's Goofy. Like, what the hell? Like, Mickey Mouse doesn't even have its own movie.
No,
Goofy got a movie before Mickey Mouse. He got a movie before Donald Duck. All these other characters.
Yeah.
Wow, it's crazy, right? But so let's get right into it. What are some of the things that you love about this movie, Hayo?
So right away, the reason why this movie has aged well, in my opinion, is because the movie isn't about just Max, which is a son of Goofy, or Goofy. What makes it age very well is because it's relatable, I believe, and will continue to be relatable, because what parent doesn't go through a huge generational gap and difference between their kids? No matter how cool you want to be as a dad, and no matter how cool you want to be as a teenager, there's always going to be that gap and that difference and that conflict, which is part of life. And I think that's the beauty that we see in this movie, and that's why it's so underrated. One of the first things that popped out to me is the music. The songs are very different. They're not your usual musical Broadway that Disney is known for.
Even though there are some scenes where the characters actually sing in this movie, but it's still very different.
But I mean, what I loved about him as a kid, when I first saw him, I loved all those. I think I loved those songs more than even, I know I might get some hate, than your usual Disney movies. I mean, like, I love, what's it called? A Whole New World, The Circle of Life, the Jungle Book songs. I love them, but these I would actually sing and redo by memory as a kid for some reason, because they had that pop, that current culture music to it, and they're still relatable because, as you know, they paid like almost an homage to Michael Jackson. So the music is great.
Basically, you could definitely see they were definitely trying to base Powerline off of Michael Jackson, because I mean it was the '90s. Like, Michael Jackson he was it. Who
still doesn't know Michael Jackson? Yeah. So the music is great, very memorable. And then one of the things, and then I'll have you touch on some of your favorite parts, is when it comes to like those things that I didn't appreciate as a kid. Right away, you see the high school, which I think they do a great job, even though you really don't get to see them in high school. But in those short couple minutes that they show you Max and even his friends in high school, I think that the directors do a great job of showing what high school is like. Even I think today, as Max goes to school, the song of the opening, it's all about, fitting in, building up your rep. It's the last day of school. You got to make your mark before you go to the summer. And I saw this a lot of times. I remember when I was in high school, I was never that popular kid, but I wasn't the kid that nobody knew. I knew everybody.
You were in the middle.
It was, like in the middle. And that's where Max is at. Max is like kind of like in the middle. Like, he's not a loser, but he's not like a cool kid. So he's trying to make his mark. And sometimes, we would try to do pranks, but he goes all out with a musical. But the crazy part for me, which I thought was interesting, that I never got, is his friends and their chemistry. And when they give the cheese to the friend of which I forget his name, Bobby. This guy, you should have now, as an adult, know that this guy is a pothead. I had my pothead friends that were smart like this guy. Like, they were smart, they were troublemakers, they were, underappreciated, but...
It was definitely, like, that cheese was, now that you watch it, that cheese was definitely like
Yeah.
symbolic for
Something was going on with
that's-
that cheese.
You know, he doing something.
And so that, and then also for the catalyst of the movie is basically when the principal catches him after the big musical scene. Roxanne's they're gonna go to the party, and then when the principal calls it dad, I thought was hilarious because that's how a lot of adults react to the extreme, where it's like your kid's a gangbanger and you better do something about it before he ends up in the electric chair.
Right? So
Like,
exaggerated.
This guy didn't say at least juvenile hall. He said the electric chair just because the guy sang some songs. So I thought that was hilarious. I mean, what do you think? What are some parts that really stood out to you?
The songs are so good, like Eye to Eye, perfectly. That ending, that climax where, you know, when they're at the concert, that Eye to Eye song perfectly describes the whole mood or theme,
Of the resolution.
message of the movie.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, that they're finally seeing eye to eye. The, you know, Goofy as the dad
Yeah.
and Max as the son.
Son,
You know, they
definitely.
finally come to understand each other. They've come to say, you know what, hey, I understand that, you know, you don't like the things that I liked when I was a kid, because that's what
that's
Goofy was
okay.
trying to do, but that's okay. And then
Yeah.
Max is like, hey, you know, I understand that I've been a jerk to you, but I love you because you're
I'm
my
sorry.
dad, and I understand that you were just trying your best to make me happy or
Yeah.
anything like that. And it's just a great, awesome song. And then Stand Out also perfectly describes that scene, you know, when he hijacks the rally or whatever.
Yeah. He's trying to
If
stand
you,
out.
if you pay attention to the lyrics, it perfectly describes what he's trying to do
Mm-hmm.
in the scene. It says that until my face is the only face you'll see,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stand out till you notice me. And that's basically what he's trying to do. You know,
the
he's
girl,
trying
yeah,
to get
he's
the
trying to stand
girl
out.
to notice him and stand
Yeah.
out. So perfectly describes the scene. Awesome,
time.
awesome music. And then I love the way the movie starts too. The whole dream sequence
it
and
sets up
everything.
the mood of
it really
everything.
sets up the mood, and it really is relatable because, you know,
Yeah.
it's that stage where everybody, you know,
Growing up,
your hormones are all jacked up.
for real.
You're starting to fall in love with this, and, you know, you get those
Trying to
dreams
grow
and
hair when
everything.
you didn't know it, and it's like,
Yeah, and then,
Starting to look
you
more
know,
like your dad
he
or
looks
your
like his
mom.
dad, and that's like his biggest fear, that he becomes his dad and all this kind of stuff. And then obviously that song, that musical number when he's going to school, I love that. I love that because it also, again, perfectly describes the whole mood of everyone. Hey, it's the last day of school, and
we gotta stand
we
out.
gotta stand out, and you're looking forward to the sermon at the
Mm-hmm.
same time. You know, I love her. It's like, you know, they've been laughing since I can remember.
Yeah.
And he's all, oh man, love that whole scene. Love that whole
Yeah.
scene.
So I love this movie, and I think it's a great family movie. One of those movies that,
Yeah.
as a parent, you want to show your kids. And again, as a millennial, we grew up with it, and this is like our movie because we're like, this is legit. And now that you're an adult, you're like,
You
I could relate
understand
to
it. Yeah.
Goofy even as well. So definitely, I think you should check it out.
You know, one thing that I want to point out too is that, you know, I was reading an article, and the director, Kevin Lima, he was basically saying, you know what, when we were approaching this movie, we were like, you know, we don't want to do Goofy the same way he's been done all the time, which,
idiot.
you know, he's just a one-dimensional character.
Yes.
He's just that funny. He's goofy. You
Yeah.
know, he's goofy, he's
name.
silly, he's weird. You know, it's his name. He's Goofy, right? We're going to try to bring out something more from him so people can see, you know, that Goofy
Yeah.
is just more than just that, just a funny
Which I
guy.
think they did a
And they did a
perfect
great job. You
Yeah.
know, he's like, we want to make him into a more of a three-dimensional character. We want to show his emotional side and all these kinds of things. And they really, really,
really
did.
did.
You know,
They
that, you know, you've seen Goofy as mad, you've seen him happy, you've seen him funny, you've seen him sad. All kinds of emotions
Serious,
were
everything.
expressed, serious, all these kinds of things.
Yeah.
And it's just surprising because, again, it's Goofy.
Yeah.
And it's surprising, but the movie worked.
Oh, big
It
time.
worked, and it did. It was such a great chemistry between him and Max.
And honestly,
and they carried the movie, and with
I
that,
don't-
that's what the whole point of the movie was.
I don't
you
think
know?
it would have worked with Mickey Mouse or Donald because again, Mickey Mouse has Minnie Mouse and Donald has his girl, which I forget what her name
Daisy.
is, Daisy, and Goofy has nobody. So I think the whole again son and father thing was perfect, and even his the way he speaks. Mickey Mouse has a very high-pitched voice, ladies and gentlemen. So, like, as a dad, how can you really imagine? Can you imagine that scene? Like, Max, don't do that. Get in the car. It's like it just doesn't work. Or even with like Donald, it's like, but she has his nephews. But again, he's always mad. And with Goofy, he has this again. I never noticed it. This Southern accent, and that's where the comes out. Hillbilly kind of a country boy look. Kind of feel to him. And Max is very city. Suburbs kid. So they did an awesome job, man. And we could keep talking about this for years.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, that's all I gotta say. I thought it was perfect and great movie.
Definitely. So, I mean, that's it. I mean, what more can we say? Music was great. The chemistry was
Characters.
great. Characters
Pacing
were
was
great.
great.
Pacing, story was great.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, unfortunately, like I said, I think people just dismiss it because it's goofy. But hey, give it a shot. Really, give it a shot. Give it a
Take
try.
another look.
And take another look with some new eyes or new perspective. And
Yeah, big
maybe you'll see eye to eye. All right, well, that's it for us today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Again, it's your boy Aaron. It's your boy Mr. J
later.
over here. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. So tune in next week and you'll find out our number 3 pick. All right, guys? So peace out.